Okay. I might have to scoot myself around, but I'll explain who it is and all that stuff. I'm sure he won't mind. Sorry, the kid's school just messaged me. All right. So if you guys don't know, here, let me do this real quick. I'm going to start recording. I can always edit it later. If you guys don't know, this is Nexanor. He's on the right-hand side. He is a VTuber. He is the connoisseur of chaos. He loves chaos in every way, shape, and form. He likes to be there for it. He likes to talk about it. This is a Cheeto, I think, over on that side. And I guess they're talking about this situation. Now, this specific video that I heard this in, and this is not the reason I'm using this video. The reason I'm using this video is because of something that is being said, and it's not even to do with the whole point of the video, which is huge streamer gets exposed by her mom. She regrets everything. I will link it in the description later. Basically, I'll give you the gist of it. There was a streamer on Twitch who isn't paying back her parents for, I guess, her college loan. They've loaned her like $170,000. And they're like, well, why don't you pay her back? And they're like, or pay her parents back. And she's like, because I don't want to. And she's successful now as a streamer. So it was one of those, like, that's messed up. If you're making that money and, you know, they helped you out in that way. Like, now, if she was like helping pay bills and stuff, you know, that could be a different take on it. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Let me make sure I have this queued up where I wanted it to be. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see where I put the timestamp, 39. All right, yeah, let me pull it back a little bit. I'm going to put it at 39 and just see how it goes from there. I'm going to leave the captions on the screen because, you know, why not? Here, I'm going to stick me in the middle so I don't block them. Okay, so this video, huge streamer got exposed by her mom, she regrets everything, is Nuxanor's video where he's talking to, I'm pretty sure it says a Cheeto. I'm sorry. They're huge YouTubers compared to me, so, like, don't at me, please. Or do, whatever. All right, let me see. I'm hoping this is what I think it is. Let's watch just a little clip of this. I think you'll catch what I'm talking about. Wait, there we go.
I looked at it for like 2 minutes. I didn't make a video on it because it's like such.
Okay, here we go. I know where I'm at now. All right, so I'm gonna pull it back just a little bit further. Let's try this again.
What's wrong with these burger buns? They taste perfectly delicious, but due to a production mishap, their bottoms are slightly curved inside.
Now really feeling entitled for everything. That's kind of the most annoying part for me. Everyone feels like they deserve everything in the world, and to be honest, you don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve anything that you don't make for yourself.
Yeah, bro, I want to tie this to something else I've been invested in recently. Do you have you gone over the Nick A30 drama at all?
Yeah.
Like on stream, like your chat knows about it?
So I looked at it for like 2 minutes. I didn't make a video on it because it's like.
Okay, I don't know if you guys know who Nick A30 is. Nick A30 is a Fortnite streamer, a huge Fortnite streamer, very, very popular, very, very huge fan base, and is good at what he does. He's super positive, from what I know. I don't watch his content. I've seen some of it. I've seen him interact with other ones, like I think Cypher and Ninja, and that, like, they all know each other and they all kind of talk to each other and stuff like that. I'm surprised. I should tell Austin that I'm live so that he can come join because he knows who I'm talking about. But anyway, so anyway, that's who Nick A30 is. He's a Fortnite streamer. That's who they're talking about. Okay.
Such a nothing burger stupid situation.
Well, basically, one of the arguments, like in this drama, basically, Nick A30 is a popular Fortnite streamer. I'll give you a very quick synopsis. So he got a donation from some guy, and I think a lot of the drama was under this like misunderstanding of what donating to a streamer actually is, and this ties into the whole entitlement thing.
Pay attention to this. This is the entirety of, and you guys probably already have figured out what I want to talk about. Are you guys ready for this? Because he says it so perfectly that I had to bring this up. All right, here we go. Can you guys hear the video? I hope you can hear the video. If not,
people think like a donation to someone is like on stream is equivalent to like ordering a cameo. And that shit bothers me. Like when you send a donation, it's a tip. Like it's charity. You're giving them money because you like the product, you like the stream. But when you now add like a special request, that's not the same thing. Like if you're asking like, yo, can you play Fortnite with me? You didn't get scammed because the guy is not playing Fortnite with you and you paid money. You have a misunderstanding of how the donation interaction works.
Okay, do you guys understand what's going on here? So Nick A30 is a Fortnite streamer. So he was live streaming, probably playing Fortnite, and he has a huge audience. Like he's got thousands of viewers every time that he goes live. Okay, millions and millions and millions and millions of views on his video, all of those things. Sorry. So he's live. Somebody in the chat donates requesting, I believe it was to play with him or to have him do something. So basically they sent a donation and they're like, here's money. And whether it's a big donation or a small donation, whatever the donation dollar amount was, I didn't do any research. I don't know. Whatever the donation amount was, it came with a request. Okay. Now, let me put the caveat in here that there is a slight difference because a lot of us are pretty involved with reaction channels, music reactions and things like that, comedy reactions and things. And they do live stream and they do request streams. Now, let me make this super, super clear. The request streams, they specifically say, if this, then that. So it's transactional. They say, if you donate this amount, and a lot of times it's through a third party, like, donation source. If this, then I will do that. And when they say that, then you literally have a transaction where you're purchasing something. So you're purchasing the reaction. Okay. That's the difference between a donation for support or when someone's just live and in a very targeted transactional type relationship. All right. Let me go back a few seconds.
Is not playing Fortnite with you and you paid money. You have a misunderstanding of how the donation interaction works. You got what I'm saying? Like, that's entitlement. Like, you think by donating to somebody, you are now entitled to like a cameo or a special request, or like an order. That's not how this works. You know what I'm saying? That was this whole drama.
Yeah,
is this kid that sent a donation to Nick A30 and he's like, hey, like, I want you to do this for me. And then because he was like not doing the specific tap dancing routine that the kid asked for, he makes an entire hit piece on the guy. The point is, when we go to entitlement, like, people believe, and like obviously in this case, the streamers, what we're talking about with the Ab on Preach video, the streamer is the entitled one. But I think like in general, like people, I don't know if that's due to the internet and how everyone is just showered in attention for every menial thing they do. But it's just, we're just in a culture where like everyone just thinks that they're owed like something. And it's just weird to me because I see it in every sort of like little pocket of the internet.
So I also see it in every pocket of the internet. I agree with you.
Okay, so that's the gist of the video. That is the part that I wanted to pull as the structure feels. Welcome and thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. So the point of this, okay, so I'm going to talk about this. I think that I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, sincerely, I don't think I could have said that any better myself. I talk about this all the time, and I talk about people being transactional and the expectations and entitlement of people just for being present. And I think that they wild out just a little bit because a donation in and of itself is a donation. So you are donating, you're gifting it to them saying, hey, I like your content. I like you. And so therefore I'm sending you something. So maybe you say my name or just to show my appreciation and help support, you going forward and things like that. Okay. That's what that's for. It's a tip, right? It's not required. It's not, it's not a paywall to get in the door. All right. The difference being like with music reaction channels, it is a transaction and it is stated as such. Therefore, that is a different scenario. Now, what they're talking about is a split between the streamer being entitled, which is what their video initially is. The streamer is very entitled and is like, well, I'm making all this money. They paid for a degree that I dropped out and decided to become a streamer. Now I'm successful and I'm not paying them back the money they paid for my degree that I didn't bother finishing. So entitled in that way. So the streamer's being entitled, like, I make this money and it's my money. Like, why should I do anything for you? So like that type of entitlement. And then this specific instance is a fan who's somebody, a subscriber, a follower, whatever, that's in the chat that watches the content and is like, look, I want to play this game with you. And they don't, by the way, these streamers, especially these big ones, they don't play with their community. It's just too much. You just can't. And I know it sounds like, well, why can't they? Well, they do sometimes, but for the most part, they don't. I mean, it's one of those, if you let one person and you play with them and then all of a sudden you get harassed and comments and added 55,000 times, I mean, it gets wild. Okay. But they made a donation, says, I want you to play with me. And he didn't. He's thank you for the donation. I don't know what he said. I didn't see that video. But then they made a hit piece. They basically went online and they made a video about how much of a piece of crap he was because he blew him off and he didn't do what he donated for. And so what he's talking about is he's saying people expect it to be like Cameo, where, you pay a celebrity to say what you want. You say, hey, say happy birthday to my grandma. It's her 70th. And they're like, happy birthday, Miss Smith. Happy birthday, 75th. Woo. Oh, I'll be back, depending on who it is. And they send that to you, and that's transactional. right? In this specific case, the expectation of a transactional relationship with this streamer was absolutely not warranted and quite wild. That's not a thing. And if they watched his content at all, they would know that that doesn't happen. We see it all the time in a lot of the chats where people just spam the same thing because they just want someone to, like, it's like they don't even see anyone else in the chat in the room with them. They're just jumping up and down, waving their arms like, look at me. And they'll just spam. I see it in Tom's chat all the time. They just spam. And I'm like, okay. I don't know why you're doing this, but okay. And they get ignored and they're like, you're not listening to me. Well, no, there's 2,000 people there. You can't jump for everyone. They try to acknowledge when they can, but there's a limitation. So that sense of entitlement to me is a problem. And they start talking about how they see it all over the internet and things of that nature. Then they get back on topic. But my point, what I wanted to point out, is this is directly applicable to the type of communities that we are in when it comes to live streaming, and how, there are very specific people who are like, well, if I don't get to yours, whatever, I'll refund it. And then some people are like, no, you risk it for the biscuit. You donate. And if I don't get to whatever it is, it's a donation. You wanted to support. And to be nice, not a direct transactional, but to be nice, I've decided that I'm going to try to accommodate the requests, but I can't always do that. So if I don't get to it, I don't get to it. And people get mad, and they're in the DMs, and they're throwing tantrums, and they're in the chat, and they're talking crap, and they make videos about it. That's why I tell creators all the time that they need to be super careful. Oh, Brad's Journey, thank you. Yes, a thank you and a shout out. Exactly. Thank you. Oh, I should put the chat on screen. I don't know which one I need to be on to have the chat. Hold on. I'll just add the chat. Give me a second. I don't know. I changed it so I see the chat over on the side, so I don't have it as a pop-out window. So I'm not 100% sure how to pull it on screen. I'm sorry. Brad's Journey, thank you so much. That was absolutely above and beyond. You did not have to do that. Much appreciated. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. A shout out and a thank you is generally the expectation or the hope. If it's a huge streamer, people have to adjust their expectations. Just because you are geeking out over a streamer does not necessarily mean they're able or willing, for that matter, let's just be real, or willing to acknowledge every single thing that comes through. Sometimes they miss it. Sometimes it's intentional. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're just not in the mood, whatever the case. It's the entitlement that irritates me to no end, because and the reason it does a little bit more for me is because we're in a transactional space when it comes to like live reactions, because they say, look, you pay this, I do this. It's a direct transaction. Okay. It's like if something is an item is on the shelf and you pay, you get this item, and it's set up that way, but only if you pay for it with a specific payer source. Otherwise it's a donation, which means appreciate you, thank you, and that's that, right? But the point they're making, obviously, is that someone went and got so mad, they made what they call a hit piece. They made a video about Nick A30, who's huge in this space, huge, super positive, super nice, trashing him because they didn't get their way. And to me, that's a tantrum. That's a flat out tantrum. But anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that that was warranted? Because I'm pretty sure that it was never said, hey, if you make a donation, I will do this, or this. And if that's the case, do you think that I think everyone's going to think making a video was too far. Do you think that this is a problem? Do you think that it's something that people can do to fix it? Or I don't know. Do you think that if you make a donation of any dollar amount, whatever it may be, that you are owed anything? There's no wrong answer. I'm just curious, so put it down in the comments.